All right, guys. Fula coming to you with another video. I kind of just want to dissect um, a couple of things, really. So there's been some interviews. Um, there's been some interviews that have been coming out of the Benavidez camp and things like that. Um, one such video that has came out is that Benavidez said he can stop Andrade. You know, he said that he can stop Demetrius Andrade. Um, you know, Dimitri Bivol has came out and said that, you know, he sparred Benavidez before, and he said that, I believe he said that, you know, that I don't know what was the result of that sparring. Even when I went to the Benavidez gym, when I went to that gym, I saw some sparring of Benavidez versus Gabe Rosado. You know what I mean? The thing is this. Skills really pay the bills when it comes to this boxing. And me, I'm a skills person. But skills is not just like how you slip a punch. Skills is not just skills is just not your defense and things like that. Skills is the overall package. You know what I mean? Skills is how you make adjustments. Skills is when do you know to throw combinations. Skills is when you know to really put something down on your punches, or really just to use your punches as a rangefinder. Skills is when you know what punch to throw and when to throw that punch. You know, skills is so much. And I just believe that the skills pay the bills. So when it comes to David Benavidez and him saying that he can stop Andrade, you know what I mean? I really don't think so. Like, the thing is that when you look at who David Benavidez has fought, David Benavidez has not fought like big punchers. You know, Andre Durrell was not really a big puncher, you know. Kyron Davis was not really a big puncher. You know what I mean? I think he fought Anthony Durrell, actually. I take that back. He fought Anthony Durrell. When it comes to David Lemieux, he may be a big puncher, but he's not really like, he really doesn't have anything else. He really just has a chance, you know. He just has basically a once in a lifetime chance at landing that big haymaker, you know. So with this being said, with this being said,
if you're trying to make
Demetrius Andrade is a guy. The thing is this with Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade is a guy who may not have the one punch knockout power, but he has enough. He has enough to to give you respect. He has enough to like make you think about coming in. Now, granted, now, granted, I want to say that I want to say that in his last fight with Jason Quigley, many people don't know, but he broke his jaw in that fight. You know, Jason Quigley had a broken jaw. Right? Now, I'm waiting to see what he's going to look at 168 versus Zach Parker. I think that fight's going to be in May. May is going to have a couple of good fights because you're going to have Jaron Ennis in May. I wanted him to be on the whatchamacallit card, the Erickson Lubin card, but it looks like that's not happening. But you're also gonna have Demetrius Andrade in May as well, you know, and we'll see what he looks like against Zach Parker. But yes, Demetrius Andrade did break Jason Quigley's jaw. Okay, so many opponents have said that Demetrius Andrade, like, he hits harder than they expect, you know. That's what it said. Like, they're like, wow, I didn't know he hit that hard, you know. So this is one thing about him that completes his skill set, you know. I'm reading here again that Jason Quigley has revealed to the public that the surgery for his broken jaw he suffered on Friday night has been successful. And Demetrius Andrade gave him this broken jaw. So again, you got to look at the skill set. Here's the man who's a skilled boxer, but can also put some hurting on you. And and David Benavidez, you know, no disrespect to him, but he's not a skilled boxer. You know what I mean? He's not really skilled at boxing. Like, what he does, you know, and I respect his warrior spirit. I respect that he's willing to fight anybody. I respect that. But what he does is, he in essence, just wears you down. It's a game of wearing you down. You know, he just mauls you down. It was the same thing with Kyron Davis. It was the same thing with Anthony Durrell. He just mauls you down. Now, don't get it twisted. He throws combinations, punches, and bunches. Don't even get it twisted. He does have that skill, right? I'm not denying that. But when you look at who the good boxers are, who were able to adapt to everybody, they usually have footwork, you know. They usually could fight in different styles. They usually were awkward, hard to figure out, right? Fighters like Demetrius Andrade, fighters like Jaron Ennis, fighters like David Morrell fit in that category. Now, I may sound far-fetched. I may sound really far-fetched with what I'm about to say, but I actually believe that David Morrell can stop David Benavidez. I also believe that David Benavidez is really it's more befitting for him to fight at 175 than 168. You know, I think because I'm not going to call him a weight bully, but it's getting to the point where it's like you can tell obviously the weight is hard to make. You know what I mean? So this is why I want to say about that. I believe that at 168, David Morrell and Demetrius Andrade are the most skilled and the best fighters in that division. Okay, I have to see if the power is going to translate to 168 when Demetrius Andrade fights Zach Parker. Okay, I want to see if the power is going to translate up there, right? So me personally, I still just believe that Demetrius Andrade and David Morrell just have they check off all the boxes. And then another thing that they have, this is one thing that they have, that switch hitting ability. They can fight in different, they can fight in different stances. You know, both of them can do that. Both of them have the hands down style when they are comfortable and have your timing down. You know, so the thing is I'm gonna end it on this final note, and I hate to mention Canelo again, but the reason why people want to fight Canelo, they know they're gonna get paid, but if they have like mental fortitude, if they have like a high level of mental fortitude, meaning their mentality is very, very high, meaning they actually believe they can beat him, meaning they're actually going in there to fight, meaning they're not going in there to coast, meaning that they're not just going in there to retire into the sunset when the fight is over, such as Billy Joe Saunders, then it becomes the easiest fight for them. The thing is, and I'm going to leave it at this. Canelo is very much a basic fighter. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why he's a basic fighter. I'm going to tell you why he's not an awkward fighter. I'm going to tell you why he's not what they make him out to be. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you the reasons. Number one, people were talking about Canelo's defense. Canelo's defense has gotten so much better. Canelo's defense. Canelo's defense has not changed since he fought Austin Trout. It's been the same defense since then. When you look at the Austin Trout fight, he slipped a couple of punches. You know, he did that kind of like, he did that. But when you look at a fight like against Floyd Mayweather, he wasn't really doing that. When you look at a fight versus even the fight with Billy Joe Saunders, he wasn't really doing that. When you look at the fight against Caleb Plant, he wasn't really doing that. Okay, when you have an opponent like Yildirim, of course he was doing that. Yildirim literally showed up to get a vacation to Miami and a damn paycheck, you know? So that's numero uno. The second reason is the footwork. Dude doesn't have no footwork, man. He relies on power only. He relies on power. To be honest, he doesn't really even use a jab. When you look at fights, he does not set things up from a jab, bro. It's like a juggernaut, basically. A come forward guy who's going to make you feel something and wear you down. So this is why if David Benavidez and Canelo fought, that's all it would be a game of, is who can last the longest. It would be like the fight with Canelo and Angulo. It would be like the fight with Canelo and Josecito Lopez. It would be like that. You know? Because if Canelo would try to outbox him, he would just like get worn out and just, you know what I mean? And this is my final reason. Canelo's not really a skilled boxer. When you think about skilled boxing, he's not really skilled. He can't throw the shots like Duran Ennis throws. He can't throw the shots like Demetrius Andrade throws, like looping, like he does this looping uppercut, but that looping uppercut is going to get you caught. You know what I mean? But he can't do the things that these fighters do in terms of skill. He can't do what, like, say a Devin Haney does. You know, he can't do those things. He can't do the things that, say, Alexander Usyk does. He can't do those things. You know what I mean? He's not really like this skilled boxer that people make him out to be. What Canelo is, and I'm going to end it on this note, is Canelo is a brawler, come forward, pressure fighter who can box a little. That's all he is. You know, and so that's why I'm not really impressed. You know what I mean? I'm really impressed, man. I mean, and David Benavidez is very much the same thing. But David Benavidez has been trying to get the fights. He's been trying to fight Charlo. You know what I mean? Charlo ducked him. Still is ducking him. He was trying to fight Caleb Plant before Canelo chose him. He was trying to unify with Caleb Plant. When he had his WBC, he had his IBF. So I can respect that, because he was calling, he wanted that fight way before Canelo even came on the 168 scene. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's still Team Andrade until I die, right? It's still Team Boots until I die. It's still Team David Morrell till I die. It's still Team Devin Haney till I die. And the reason why is these guys is because their skill level, their mentality, and they're doing everything right to try to get the big fights, man. But with that being said, I'm out. Y'all let me know what you think. Fool is signing out. Ciao, Rama.